At.
We arrived at Singy Alley on an early winter day, when the mountains and forests were covered in thick snow. The locals had warned of an outbreak of wild boars. They reproduced rapidly and caused endless destruction. The local Hunters Association organized a hunt to control the number of wild boars and protect the people. We joined the group, equipped with hunting guns, along with experienced hunting dogs, ready for the journey. Following the snow-covered trail, we were quite surprised to find our target so quickly. The gunshot rang out. The leader of the herd collapsed immediately. The pigs panicked and ran away, but we did not allow that to happen. Aiming the scope at the target, without hesitation, we pulled the trigger. After a crisp gunshot, 3 more wild boars were taken down. The remaining ones fled towards the slope. We split into groups to pursue, crossing the slippery snowy hills. The thick snow significantly reduced our speed. At this time, the herd of boars had run to the other side of the hill. With no other choice, we decided to attack from a distance. At a distance of 400 m, the whole group focused, held their guns firmly, and opened fire. The rain of bullets poured down, taking down a few targets. However, most of them were lucky to escape. We continued our pursuit, leading to another hill, where there were signs of a large herd of pigs hiding. This time, we applied an ambush tactic. When the first pigs came into sight, the order to fire was given. closing on each target. Here it is. Did it think it could escape? That was a mistake. Changing tactics, we focused on single targets. Because, when a wild boar is shot down immediately, the others may not have time to realize the danger and not run away immediately. This allows us to approach and take down more targets. For pigs fell immediately, the rest scrambled to run away in panic. After the intense battle, the whole group was exhausted. However, before we could rest, we encountered another herd of pigs. Look! It's a large herd of pigs. We couldn't miss such a good opportunity, so from our hiding position, we continuously fired. Time was running out. As we followed the mountainside back to the rest stop, a few giant black figures appeared in our sights. And we certainly wouldn't let go of such a good opportunity. The gunshots rang out once again. One shot, one kill. As if re-energized, we successfully annihilated the herd of pigs. We quickly deployed our squad, opened fire, and finished off the last targets of the trip. We had missed a few targets. They were still trying to hide. As dusk fell, we returned with our spoils. As if re-energized, we successfully annihilated the herd of pigs. The locals breathed a sigh of relief knowing that the number of wild boars had significantly decreased. In recent days, the situation of wild boars has been the destruction in this mountainous area has gotten out of control. The farmers here are fed up. They need an immediate solution, and that's why we're here. Today, our plan is twofold. Set a trap for wild boars first, then go hunting in the nearby mountains. We drag large iron cage traps to an area where wild boars often pass by. The dense footprints on the ground show that they have been here many times before. The trap is firmly reinforced, has a surveillance camera system, placed close to the edge of the forest, baited with corn and food with the scent of bran. After completing, the group quickly moves to the mountain, ready for the hunt. We split into two groups, lurking on the hilltops. The group moved carefully, listening, observing every movement around. Here it is, a wild boar appeared right in front. The first round of fire was deployed. We were quite surprised that it could escape without any damage. Raise the gun, ambush ahead. But this was just the beginning. We continued to move forward, searching for the boar's tracks. Something was ahead. Approach carefully, it was a wild boar. This is a very crowded herd of pigs. The pigs are big and fat, but their speed of movement cannot be underestimated. Therefore, it is very difficult to shoot accurately and take them down. It seemed like an opportunity was coming, but the herd of pigs detected the danger. They immediately turned around and ran away. Without thinking much, we decisively pulled the trigger. We only managed to take down a medium-sized target. With a bit of regret, the group was determined to track down and take down the entire herd of pigs. Here it is. The eyes of the group still followed every movement of the wild pigs. As soon as they moved to the most ideal position, gunshots immediately rang out. The hunt continued. Each time we encountered them, we had to calculate the appropriate tactics to optimize efficiency while still ensuring safety. Through each battle, the number of wild boars killed increased. We knew that there were still many other herds of wild boars lurking somewhere on this mountain. We arrived at the neighboring mountain. This was where the wild boars often came in the afternoon to find food. And as expected, another herd of pigs appeared. This time, the battle was more fierce. We had to constantly move and change positions to avoid being counterattacked by the pigs. The huge, bulky boars were still galloping across the hillsides. Only when they reached an open area could we open fire. Despite having killed a large number, the battle was not over yet. The wild boar continues to thrive, and there will certainly be more hunting trips like this in the future. The last series of shots could only take down a few wild pigs. Quite a pity, so we need to try harder. Today, we did a good job, but tomorrow, there are still many challenges waiting ahead. As the sky began to darken, the group returned to the trap area. When they arrived, the sight before their eyes surprised everyone. The trap had worked. At least 10 wild boars were trapped inside, struggling wildly but unable to escape. To ensure safety, we decided to finish them off before opening the trap. After a long day of fighting, we had taken down dozens of wild boars, a significant number in our efforts to control their numbers.
Wheat fields, wiping out the farmers' entire harvests. Today, though it may seem ruthless, we have no other choice. We must take up arms and set out to hunt them down, determined to eliminate these wild boars to protect our homeland. To catch these destructive wild boars, I often patrol the fields in the late afternoon, just before sunset. On this first mission, I let my loyal hunting dogs take the lead. With their sharp sense of smell, they quickly tracked down the boar's hideout. Like an arrow, one of them sprinted toward the target, cornering the boar with no aim. Another dog swiftly escaped, trapping it completely. The entire pack lunged simultaneously, attacking with precision. A well-placed bite left the boar writhing and squealing in agony. My hunting dogs were truly fearless and intelligent, worthy warriors. Ahead of us, one powerful boar was using all its strength to dash across the field. But I wasn't about to let it escape. My gun fired continuously, and the echoing shots quickly brought down the monster's waist. patiently followed the boar's tracks, waiting in ambush. The cooler air seemed to lure them out in greater numbers. I had aimed carefully. These creatures were incredibly fast and not easy to take down. Gunshots rang out one after another, and wild boars collapsed in the fields. Everything happened quickly, and soon, the remaining boars vanished beyond sight. I returned home after an unforgettable day of That afternoon, we moved closer to the grassy hills. They feared it might attack the cows grazing nearby. We immediately moved into position, ready to take it down. With our experience, we swiftly locked onto the target and fired. The wounded boar staggered as it tried to flee, but within seconds we caught up to it. A second shot rang out, ending its escape attempt. As we approached, the three of us were astonished. This beast must have weighed at least 150 kilograms. A truly impressive trophy after such an intense chase. Carefully positioned on a nearby hill, I silently observed every movement around me. Suddenly, a wild boar dashed across my line of sight. It was incredibly fast, and I immediately jumped on my vehicle to chase it down. When the boar attempted to escape, I seized the opportunity. A single well-aimed shot hit its mark, bringing the beast down. With my trusty hunting rifle in hand, I continued scanning for new targets. In the distance, I spotted a herd of wild boars running through the forest. Reacting as quickly as possible, I managed to take down 2 of them. The rest of the herd disappeared into the wilderness. A massive wild boar with 2 long, curved tusks and sharp claws boldly charged into the area. It showed no fear, standing its ground against me. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The gunshot roared, dust filled the air, and the beast collapsed, eliminating the immediate threat.
Ooh.
Our wild boar hunt has been a great success, yielding remarkable trophies. However, our efforts are not just for sport. They're driven by the hope that one day there will be no more conflicts between wild boars and humans. Thank you all for following our journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. See you in the next video. In the fruit gardens of Morocco, wild boars are still lurking and waiting for the opportunity to destroy. A new crop season is about to begin. Farmers need to quickly drive wild boars out of the growing area. Determined to protect their crops, today farmers will begin a campaign to sweep away wild boars. Let's follow the intense battle that will take place today. Wild boars are increasing in number and have become a major threat to farmers' fields. They often invade orange groves, dig up and destroy the soil, and eat crops. The damage caused by wild boars not only reduces productivity, but also directly affects farmers' income, making their lives more difficult. The increase in wild boars puts great pressure on farmers, forcing them to find ways to protect their crops. One of the urgent solutions is to organize hunting or chase pigs away from the growing area. Our mission today was to search the orange groves to exterminate these uninvited guests. After a long search, we finally found a wild boar. It rushed out of the dense grass under the pressure of the hunting dogs. Immediately, a clean, decisive gunshot rang out. Everything happened so fast, the wild boar was brought down on the spot. The excitement was evident from the hunting dogs. We then continued our ambush in the dense orchard. The hunting dogs sniffed the scent of the wild boar and barked loudly. In just a moment, the wild boar was pressured and forced to rush out of its hiding place. As soon as it passed by, gunshots rang out regularly. But it was only when I faced it directly that I was able to shoot accurately and take it down. The other wild boars were also running away in panic, but we persisted in ambushing and took them down one by one. Everything went very smoothly. We did not let them escape. The wild boar hunt was thrilling and dramatic. The wild boars hid in the thick grass, forcing us to concentrate, looking for even the smallest traces. As soon as their silhouettes appeared, shots would immediately ring out. However, their incredible agility made aiming extremely difficult. After several missed shots, luck finally smiled on me. A wild boar was hit and fell in the middle of the wilderness. The others immediately disappeared into the thick grass, but we were not discouraged. With great determination, the group quickly followed the trail, not letting the prey escape our grasp. My dog barked loudly and enthusiastically, signaling that it had discovered the boar's hiding place. As expected, the boar suddenly rushed out of the grass, and immediately a sharp gunshot rang out. A perfect shot. The boar collapsed on the spot. The chase was not over yet. Following the dog's barking, we continued to move deeper into the dense bushes. Suddenly, Another wild boar rushed across the trail at a terrifying speed, but it could not escape the decisive fatal shot. The process of hunting wild boars to protect the fields was not easy, but we still tried to complete the mission. While searching for wild boars, a wild boar suddenly jumped into the small river, intending to swim to the other side to escape. To avoid that, I fired several shots in succession. At this distance, the wild boar had absolutely no chance of escaping. So we got our next trophy. From my ambush position, I spotted a wild boar running past. It disappeared behind the bushes in a flash. But after a long search, I finally found the wild boar on the other side of the small stream. I took careful aim and shot the wild boar, letting out a piercing scream before it was completely killed. After that, I continued to chase other targets. The barking of dogs echoed from afar, making the atmosphere more tense and dramatic. Occasionally, the silhouettes of wild boars would appear, so we had to concentrate to be able to shoot accurately. With my shooting technique, I was able to take down quite a few targets, which was really not a bad result. Along the stream, we tried not to miss any targets. It was difficult to hit such fast-moving targets, but these efforts were not in vain, because as long as I focused, I was still able to take down the wild boar. Next to the orange orchards, wild boars appeared more frequently. We followed each target closely and waited for the most favorable moment to shoot. A wild boar rushed across the road, but was shot down by me with 2 shots. But the frequency of wild boars appearing was increasing. We also raised our vigilance, ready to shoot when the target appeared. As a result of our efforts, we destroyed many wild boars in the fruit orchards. Do you believe that without guns, we can still take down massive wild boars? With intelligence, strategy, and specialized tools, we have discovered an effective way to control this invasive species. From automatic traps and hunting dogs to innovative, traditional methods, we employ various techniques to ensure success. Join us on this thrilling and intense journey, where skill and experience determine the outcome. You'll be amazed by the unconventional yet highly effective hunting strategies we use. Wild boars are among the most voracious creatures in the wild. With an omnivorous diet and an insatiable hunger, they can consume up to 4 to 5 kilograms of food daily. Their menu includes roots, fruits, seeds, insects, frogs, small animals, and even carrion. More alarmingly, when food is scarce, they won't hesitate to attack livestock, poultry, and even human farmlands, devastating rice fields and fruit orchards. This is precisely why humans must find ways to control their population before the situation spirals out of control. Ever wondered how to take down these cunning invaders without using firearms? The answer lies in an ancient weapon, the bow and arrow, a tool that has been associated with great hunts since the dawn of time. No deafening gunshots, no lingering gunpowder, just the silent patience of hunters awaiting the perfect moment to strike. Today, we are using broadhead arrows with razor-sharp blades, designed for maximum penetration and a swift kill. 2010, not far away, a herd of wild boars emerges by a muddy pool. I carefully aim at one of them. Even after spotting it, I must not rush. Precision with a bow requires patience. My heartbeat echoes in my ears. The arrow flies through the air, striking true. The boar struggles to flee, but the fatal wound seals its fate. It collapses onto the ground, a perfect takedown, marking the beginning of an intense hunt. After a period of searching, we spot a herd of wild boars moving cautiously at the forest's edge. Without hesitation, my companion kneels, draws his bow, takes careful aim, and releases the arrow. It slices through the wind, but the cunning boar leaps into the underbrush, escaping by a hair's breadth. Determined not to let the prey slip away, we tighten our grips on our weapons and dive deeper into the chase. Arrows fly through the thick foliage, and this time, we do not allow the destructive beast to escape so easily. A few of them fall to our relentless pursuit. Our team presses deeper into new territory. Then, as if nature itself had gifted us an opportunity, a plump wild boar wanders into sight, obliviously foraging for food. A single sound is enough to startle it, freezing it in place for a split second before it bolts. But it's too late. My arrow flies like a lightning bolt, striking it squarely. The creature writhes, letting out piercing cries that echo through the forest before collapsing into the lush grass. Venturing further, I stumble upon a group of nearly 10 boars gathered around a watering hole. A golden opportunity. Without hesitation, I draw my bow, aim precisely, and release. The arrow soars through the silent air, embedding itself into one of them. It tries to flee with the panicked herd, but its strength quickly wanes, and it crashes to the ground. By noon, the forest swelters under the scorching sun. We set up camp to rest, but keep our eyes fixed on the surroundings. Suddenly, a massive dark figure emerges from the distance, its heavy steps crushing dry leaves underfoot. A giant wild boar, lured by our bait, unknowingly walks into an invisible trap. A few more boars appear, but I remain focused on my main target. The bowstring is drawn tight, then released in a split second of fate. The arrow flies, piercing the massive beast's body. The rest of the herd scatters in a frenzy, dust swirling in their wake. But the injured one cannot escape. Stumbling a few steps, it crashes to the ground, silent, motionless. As dusk settles, we spot another target. The first arrow misses, embedding itself into the earth, as if leaving behind an unfinished challenge. But this time, the unfortunate boar has no escape. The second arrow is loosed with unwavering determination, cutting through the air before striking true. The wind whistles past, then silence, before everything erupts in triumph. The unlucky boar breathes its last. As the hunt comes to a close, our sharp arrows, patience, and tactical prowess have led us to victory. The wilderness remains untouched, undisturbed by the echo of gunfire.
The night falls, covering everything in eerie silence. But we know the wild boars are still lurking somewhere in the darkness. With dozens of them in a single herd, they are a true nightmare. We tighten our grips on our weapons, take a deep breath, and step into what might be our most intense hunt yet. Will we be able to control the situation and eliminate these feral beasts? Watch this thrilling life or death battle now. Wild boars in Texas have become a serious threat, causing massive damage to agriculture and the environment. With millions of them roaming freely, they continuously destroy crops, uproot fields, and leave farmers in distress. As night falls, they become even more active. If strict control measures aren't enforced, the wild boar menace will continue to escalate, leading to unimaginable consequences. After receiving reports from locals about a massive herd of wild boars rampaging through the area, we immediately set out for Texas. Texas welcomes us with a breathtaking sunset stretching across vast fields. The scenery is oddly peaceful, yet hidden within this beauty lurks a lurking danger, cunning, giant beasts ready to ravage anything in their path. to prepare for tonight's hunt, we've equipped ourselves with advanced gear. In the pitch-black darkness, visibility is severely limited, but this is where our thermal imaging system shines. Look! We take careful aim before deciding to pull the trigger. Moving toward a nearby orchard, I quickly scatter some grain over an open patch of land, the perfect trap for these gluttonous beasts. In no time, lured by the irresistible scent, massive wild boars begin to gather. They eagerly bury their snouts into the dirt, indulging in their last supper, completely oblivious to the fact that they've walked right into our sights. A precise bullet, and the first boar drops instantly. The herd panics, trampling over each other in an attempt to flee. But the chase isn't over. We continue tracking them, taking down more as we go. As they greedily pick their favorite morsels, I quietly pick my targets. A deep breath, a firm squeeze on the trigger, gunshots echo through the night. One by one, the boars fall. Flawless execution, excellent results. Tonight, we set out once more, driven by determination and burning rage. Gripping our weapons tightly, we remind ourselves, this threat must end. A chaotic scene unfolds before us, wild boars rampaging through the fields, trampling crops as if it were their own personal feast. Each one, massive and rugged, their coarse fur resembling shadowy demons in the night. Even though these animals possess sharp instincts and heightened alertness, this time, their cunning won't save them. We lower our bodies, maintaining absolute silence. Everything is in place, and their nightmare is about to begin. Oh my god, what on earth is happening? I've been on many hunts before, but never have I witnessed a herd this large and ferocious. No hesitation, we quickly take our positions. Gunfire erupts non-stop. Despite taking down many, their overwhelming numbers prevent us from eliminating them all at once. We press on, determined not to let a single one escape our sights. With so many of them around, there's no doubt that more are hiding nearby. We cannot afford to leave any survivors. The objective, total elimination. With a single well-placed shot, the largest and fattest leader collapses. The rest of the herd scrambles for their lives, but there is no hope of survival. Within seconds, a few more shots ring out, leaving only lifeless shadows on the ground. A fitting end for the stubborn creatures that dared to invade human territory. Welcome to an unbelievable hunting day. Today, we will follow the journey of a beautiful yet fearless huntress who achieved an astonishing feat, taking down 99 wild boars in just one day. How did she accomplish such an incredible task? Her tactics, marksmanship, and bravery will leave you in awe. Witness every thrilling moment right now. The government has introduced training programs, blogs, and organized hunts to attract female hunters. This movement not only challenges stereotypes, but also protects crops and restores ecological balance. The huntress appears intensely focused, taking careful aim. A gunshot rings out. But wait, do you think the boar has been taken down? Oh my! Look at that! She has just taken down a massive wild boar. Another undeniable proof that you should never underestimate a female hunter. Oh wow! These two women are not only beautiful, but also incredibly strong and professional. See? Hunting wild boars isn't just for men. Now, let's watch how they handle these fierce creatures. Oh, and there it is. An unlucky wild boar has fallen. But wait, this is no ordinary boar. Look at its enormous size. Its thick fur, razor-sharp tusks. This beast must weigh at least 150 kilograms. Wild boars don't just flee, they can fight back when cornered. So, if you plan Don't forget to bring the right weapons, maintain a safe distance, and always have teammates for backup. They participate in hunting not only to control invasive species but also out of passion for outdoor sports. Unlike male hunters who charge in boldly, female hunters often rely on patience, precision, and the element of surprise to take down their prey efficiently. And here's a perfect example. An artistic, well-executed shot just took place. Indeed, hunting wild boars is no easy task, especially when these monsters can run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour and react with lightning-fast reflexes. She wisely positions herself downwind to avoid detection. You see, wild boars have an incredibly keen sense of smell. One careless move and they can detect you instantly. The first shot rings out. Oh no, the boar is too fast. Look! Oh my, that shot missed too. More and more female hunters are participating in legal hunts to manage wildlife populations and contribute to a multi-billion-dollar hunting tourism sector. Oh no! With just one precise shot, the boar collapsed on the spot. What a powerful takedown. Oh my god, a rain of bullets just poured down. But give up? Never. She decides to continue hunting at night, when wild boars are most active. Truly, after witnessing such impressive moments, who dares to doubt the strength and skill of women anymore? They're most active. And so, after a long and challenging day, these female hunters have successfully taken down wild boars, an outstanding achievement. However, hunting wild boars requires careful preparation, from weapons and tactics to safety measures.
A muddy dirt road leads us deep into the vast cornfields. The corn season has arrived. Looking at the lush, green cornfields, the farmers eagerly anticipate a bountiful harvest after months of hard work. But in just one night, that joy is shattered. As the sun rises, they are met with a horrifying sight. Half the field has been ravaged, completely destroyed. There is no need for guessing. The culprits are the wild boars. We cannot stand idly by. It's time to make them pay. As soon as we arrive, I position myself at a strategic spot to begin the hunt. I hold my breath, tighten my grip on the trigger, and lock onto the target. My heart pounds, and every second stretches endlessly. This is the perfect moment to take down the leader of this wild boar pack. A single shot rings out. The target collapses instantly. Another round of shots follows, each accompanied by a pained roar as the wild boars fall one by one. The battle has only just begun. Through the scope, the first target appears, a dark shadow lurking behind the fresh green corn leaves. Trapped in a desperate situation, most would think the wild boars would flee straight into the nearby hills. But these creatures are cunning. They always find ways to make the hunt unpredictable. Half of the herd charges up the hillside, while the others make an unexpected move, dashing into a dense field of tall grass. A perfect hiding spot. However, we had anticipated this. Every escape route had already been blocked. From the grasslands to the foot of the hill and up to the peak, there was no way out. Gunfire erupted all around, echoing through the night. The scattered carcasses of wild boar stood as undeniable proof of our determination and relentless pursuit in this life or death battle. We moved to a new location at the foot of the hills, near the Cornfield. While scanning the area, a massive wild boar, easily weighing over 120 kilograms, was detected by the hunting dogs. Sensing danger, the boar reacted immediately, sprinting at an astonishing speed. But we didn't give it a chance. My teammate seized the moment and fired. The bullet struck the massive beast, taking it down instantly. Meanwhile, my other teammate and I pursued another wild boar attempting to escape. My first shot startled it, making it sprint even faster, but in the open field, there were no thick bushes to provide cover. It ran, but there was no escape. Another well-aimed shot echoed, sealing its fate. Within an hour, our strategy of driving the boars into an enclosed area proved highly effective. We remained persistent, systematically taking down each target, tightening the net for the final battle. Excitement surged through us, and this time we wanted to challenge ourselves differently Not with guns, not with deafening explosions, but with something else, a bow and arrow. A wild boar's silhouette flickered through the green corn leaves. It was fast, but I remained calm. Using the technique I had practiced, I quickly drew my bow. Aimed and released. The arrow shot through the air like lightning, piercing the boar's head. It tried to run, but stumbled from the pain, eventually collapsing in the field. The night was deep, but we didn't stop. This was when wild boars were most active. Through the night vision scope, we saw them rampaging through the cornfields. Their glowing eyes looked menacing in the darkness. We took careful aim, and with a precise shot, the arrow cut through the night, bringing down another destructive beast. That night, we took down a few more. We have taken down many wild boars, protecting the crops and restoring peace for the farmers. However, with their rapid reproduction rate, they remain a significant threat. The hunts will continue, and we will always be ready to face them.